All right, Coach, thanks for taking some time. I know you're very busy right now heading into the bowl. Coming out of this season, obviously heading into the season, a lot of expectations for the team, preseason ranked. Just what was your message at the beginning of the season to the guys to, leave that outside noise and focus on the team and what your goal was?
Football players, football coaches, in reality, even football fans, right? You're kind of defined by these 12 guaranteed opportunities. We work year round, work really hard to get these moments, but what you do with these 12 is really going to define our success, right? And obviously an 8-4 team is successful. It's going to a bowl game, but I know there's bigger dreams and aspirations, and we'll get there. But this year it wasn't in the deck of cards. I thought our guys did a lot of really good things. Super proud of this group, a lot of what they did, a lot of what they can still do to accomplish great things. But it's kind of a year-by-year basis. I love the growth that we're at, but we still got room to grow.
4 consecutive sold-out games here at Geese Memorial to start the season. Big noon kickoff here twice this year. Just what kind of momentum was this season, and just how cool was it for you as a coach to kind of see these new things happen here?
Yeah, without a doubt. To see things that have never been done, to see the smiling faces. I say this all the time, like, wins are great, right? They're obviously really a lot of fun, but to me it's the experience you've created for those people, right? Like to walk out of the stadium and to see smiling faces, to know that, over the last 2 years, we've had 12-2 record here at Geese Memorial Stadium, and to know that all those families that came here, whether it's a father, son, a set of parents with their kids, or maybe even grandkids, to create a memory that'll last a lifetime, that's something that we all try to do, and I think this has probably been as most rewarding in that regard as ever, and obviously more to come, but those are really good moments.
Definitely, and 8-4 regular season, 22nd bowl appearance now for the program, your third here at the school, back-to-back appearances since the 2010-2011 season. What does that just mean for this program to keep this success coming? Yeah,
I think just that we're moving in the right direction. There's always things to improve upon. I know every day we get up with a drive to make today better than it was tomorrow. But cumulatively, right, over a 5-year window, to know what we've accomplished, to know that we've been knocking on the door every year. Even though we've been to 3 out of the last 5, those other 2 were just one shy away from it. So things that we can do better. But really excited to give these group of seniors to put a bow tie on this 2025 season, and to have it be in Nashville, that I think a lot of our fans are going to be able to drive over to. Send a lot of really good seniors out. Hank Beatty, a local boy that's really, really done well. Aiden Lofty right down the road in Springfield, or and a couple other guys, Caden Fagan local. Just a lot of guys that have done a lot of really good things here to make it all happen.
And you kind of mentioned a few of those seniors, but if I'm not mistaken, this is the first class that you got to recruit here?
Yeah, well, it's such a different age of college football, but there's a group of seniors here that were really unique in the fact that when I came and took the job here on a Friday, they had actually signed on a Wednesday, right? So, yeah, Josh Kreutz, Dylan Rosiak, Josh Geske, some guys that actually signed before I got here, and then there was a couple guys that we added on, Kanena Odalaga, some guys that really, joined this family after I was named, and to have 5 years with them has been absolutely awesome and something I'll cherish for a long, long time.
Definitely. And what has this senior class meant to you as the coach personally?
We always say seniors always graduate, but tradition never does. And each one of these guys, right, these guys that sit in these chairs have a tradition unique to them. Some of those guys I just mentioned, Dylan Rosiak sits right here. Here's a guy that came from Tampa that really built himself into a really good special player, has battled through some adversity the last 2 years, has been a 2-time captain. Tanner Arkin, who sits right over there. Tanner Arkin came to us as a transfer from Colorado State, 2-time captain that has done extraordinary things. To see Luke Altmaier, who came in here as an SEC transfer from Ole Miss, and to have his last game go against Tennessee, which has a whole story around that. Like, it's just every one of these kids has its own unique perspective. I mentioned Kanena earlier. Kanena was, I believe, committed to Penn when I came here, and was able to talk him in. Obviously a great school and all that goes into it, but I said, do you want to play Big Ten football? And he jumped at the chance. So each one of those stories make up our collective unit, and every one of them is really special and holds a special place in my heart.
Definitely, and obviously heading into the bowl game, you got a couple guys sitting out, one of them being Gabe.
Yeah.
Just what has he meant to this program over the 4 years being here?
So Gabe truly, he's only a 4th-year player, so he's only been with us for 4, never redshirted, but he was one of the first guys in that first fall when I was here on campus. We had a bye week, and one of my good friends, it sounds like a joke, a buddy of mine named Jack Daniels, who's the head coach of Cardinal Newman High School down in Florida, got several of his players here. He reached out to me and said, hey, I'm at this scrimmage. I'm watching this guy named Gabe Ackus. He's committed to Tulane. you might want to take a peek at him. So it started this whole recruiting story that led us to his arrival here on campus. First defensive freshman All-American in the history of Illinois football, and then for him to move on, and now he's looking at the possibility of being a first or second round draft pick in the NFL to live his dream in the way that he has. But so many special memories here to lead the Big Ten in sacks. His last year was really special, and something that we're all excited about.
Players that are playing, Luke announced he's going to be seeing fans in Nashville. Just what has he meant to this program for the last 3 years? His freshman year, or his first year, not the year he wanted, but then the last 2 he's been able to turn it around.
Yeah, he's truly been just a steady climb. A very diligent worker. He's a tremendous kid of faith. Mom and Dad raised a really special kid. Illinois raised a special kid. I think he would tell you that he kind of turned into who he is today while his time has been here, right? So came in through some adversity through his first stop, but bought into what we're selling. He's been an absolute joy to coach and preach and be around for these last 3 years, and hopefully saving up his best for last.
And ending the regular season, he was number 2 in the program with 23 overall wins as a quarterback. To get one more game, hopefully get number 24 with him, just what does that mean for you as a coach to get one more?
It's perseverance for him, right? Nothing has been easy. I've always said that you define more in life by your moments of adversity than moments of success. Fortunately, he's had a lot of success, but just the confidence he talks with, the way he carries himself, the way he puts himself in a position to help the team week in and week out. He's a very selfless person who really is a person that drives individual relationships on an individual basis, but he also has the infectious personality to have an impact on our whole community, and that's what's been fun.
And you mentioned it a little earlier, not the record fans were hoping for at the end of the year, but it's still what it was. How did you keep your guys focused in the ups and downs in this season where you heading into Indiana undefeated, get a loss there on the road, but then come back and bounce back? Just how did you keep your guys focused?
Well, I don't think it's not what happens in life, it's how you react to what happens, and our guys have done a really good job of I think this has been a year that's kind of defined reactions, some very, very tough and some very, very high, right? Like we were playing really well coming out of Maryland and Rutgers, and to have a setback of Wisconsin was difficult to swallow, but one that our guys did very, very well, and then to rebound and play a game like we did at Northwestern when they came here, a blizzard out there in the first half and a rainstorm in the second half, just another really good definition of who they are. And I think at the end of every year, unless you finish undefeated, it's never going to be the record everybody wants, right? So I think that's the reality of not just in football but life right now. So I love these group of guys. I think they've done a really good job in battling through the adversity they face, but hopefully we've set them up so when those moments come again and I'm not around them, they can still have the amount of success.
And we're obviously filming this before the bowl game, but what have you learned about your opponent, Tennessee, and what are you guys preparing for?
Tennessee, driven by their head coach, Coach Heupel, has been a guy that has been very successful, especially on the offense side of the ball during his entire playing career, coaching career. Even before he became a head coach, they play extremely well, especially in big environments. And we are playing in Nashville, which I know it's not Knoxville, but it's Tennessee, and I'm sure they're going to have a pretty good crowd there. So one that I think we arrive with not just one chip on our shoulder, but two. And our guys really enjoy the preparation, the embracement of the underdog, and I think to live this last one out in a good way will be awesome.
And to potentially become the first ever coach here at Illinois to win back-to-back bowl games, what does that kind of mean to you in your coaching career?
Well, fortunately, been able to have a lot of success, but I would say the biggest thing is, a bowl game represents a win at the end of the year that lasts an entire, 6-7 months, right? So it's that feeling of what you did in that last one that you carry with you for a long time. So there's a lot of positive spin to that, but I just want these guys to go out, prepare. We've got about 10 practices before that game, and I think our guys today, we just finished practice number 5, and hopefully got number 6 tomorrow on the horizon, looking pretty good. So we get those where we want to be, and we'll see where it goes.
And what are you guys doing in these practices just to prepare and hopefully get that win down in Nashville?
Yeah, without a doubt. Kind of like what you do during a normal game week, but it's just expanded. We have almost 3 times the amount of preparation in this one, so you can take it a little bit slower, a little more detailed. You can understand them a little bit better. I've really challenged our coaches and our players that our preparation should be as good as any time during the course of this year. And because it is Tennessee, they're a little bit of a unique preparation. They'll have a little extra time is only beneficial. Definitely,
and obviously families are going to be traveling down there. What are you kind of looking forward to with your family or just with this team as one last trip, one last hurrah?
Well, with my family, my girls and I with my wife, they love going to bowl games. It's like their thing. They want to know if it's a run-out game. So a run-out game means that we win the game and they get to run out on the field. I try to explain to them that you can't really tell that before the game until after. So we're still in education process with an 8 and 6-year-old. But we're excited just like everybody else. We're trying to go Navy in Nashville, right? With all the Illini fans. Obviously, they're orange, we're orange, so kind of separate ourselves a little bit of Navy. But should be an exciting time, and I know for me, as well as my coaches and our players, this is one last chance for us all to get together and see what we can do.
And what would your message to Illini fans be if they're heading to that game?
Yeah, pack the Navy gear. I think it's probably going to be a good day. It could be a little bit chilly, but nothing like it'll be here in Champaign, and enjoy Nashville. I was over there 2 weeks ago with the basketball team, and absolutely just an awesome environment, great town for something like this, and then to play in a pro stadium, I think that's pretty awesome if they haven't been before. Right next door, they're building a brand new one, so it'll be one of the last games and last things that can take place in this old stadium, so it's something that's a really unique opportunity.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Good luck. We'll see you down in Nashville.
Thank you very much. ILL.
I and I.